to Germany, and excuse me, at home to Georgia, and Germany will travel to Austria. So that sounds kind of interesting, isn't it? You think the German team can possibly drive down or take the train? Austria is going to be a dangerous opponent. Make no mistake about that. It's been an exciting opening day in Europe for the World Cup qualifiers. We've just seen a terrific performance and crowd in Bursa, Turkey, where Turkey came from behind to beat Latvia 85-73. Israel earlier today kicked things off for Europe, winning it 88-68 over a visiting Estonia. And of course, around all types of games being played, from Finland winning at Bulgaria to the Czech Republic being on top of Iceland, and Hungary on top of Poland in Poland. Russia winning a close one over Bosnia and Herzegovina. Ukraine and Sweden all knotted up in Sweden at 25 apiece. It's all very exciting. Kosovo edging Lithuania right now. And then this one's about ready to start. And of course, Pau Gasol tweeting recently, hey, good luck guys. I'll be following your game while I'm on my flight to Charlotte. So he's going to be watching the game, no doubt. Pau Gasol, the superstar of Spanish basketball. Everybody is into the World Cup qualifiers, and the crowds have been very good. And here we've got a Georgia team that suffered heartbreak at the Eurobasket. They didn't get out of the group in Israel, but it wasn't for a lack of trying. I mean, they actually upset Lithuania on the opening day. They met this German team, in fact, and lost, although there were some different characters for both teams. Then they fell to Ukraine. They won against Israel, and then they lost a heartbreaker against Italy, a game that prevented them ultimately from moving on. So now the attention is all on Germany and Georgia. And you can see the former German center Femmerling there, Patrick Femmerling. This is a German team that is got some players that played at the Eurobasket, including Tada. And you've got the return of Bastien Dorth. Robin Benzing, of course, played at the FIBA Eurobasket. And this is a team that's now coached by Henrik Rödel. Akpinar was also at the Eurobasket, as well as Danilo Bartel. So, and Mike Zerbis is a big, strong center that's coming out to play, as well as Isaiah Hartenstein, who was drafted by the Houston Rockets in the NBA, and now plays in the NBA G League. But he's come over here to be in this game. So, for these windows, now we're going to have the playing of the national anthems for both teams, starting with Georgia.
The national anthem of the Federal Republic of Germany.
Well, the national anthems have been played. There you see Henrik Rodel, formerly the assistant, now the head coach, and shaking hands with Ilias Zouros. And I got to tell you, those are two nice guys. And you got Rosso, Horozov, and Brutesic, the referees for today. Rosso from France in the middle, Horozov from Bulgaria on the left. And as we look at Georgia and Germany, we really have a couple of teams that are trying to keep the momentum moving, keep things going in the right direction. Both these countries have passionate fan bases. Certainly Georgia, I mean, it's the main attraction. Patazzi is back. Bereshvili is back in the team. He was as well at the Eurobasket. Patazzi, Nicholas Skitsvili, former lottery pick in the NBA, has come back to the national team to play in the World Cup qualifiers. Markoshvili is here. So starting five will be Michael Dixon, Bokolashvili, Markoshvili, Valishvili, and Nicholas Skitsvili. So there is some experience in that starting five for Georgia. This is a team, I think, that's built to win. This is a team that the expectations are high. It doesn't matter who's here, who's not here. This is a team that has a great coach in Ilias Zouros, and he's very optimistic and very positive about his team. But this is also a very good-looking German team, coached by Henrik Rodel. Hartenstein, the youngster, his stock is going up. Johannes Thiemann, of course, a really emerging talent, 23 years of age. Zirbes, we know all about him. Bartel, of course, a solid player. Tada as well. And starting five will be Bastian Dorth, Tada, Robin Benzing, Danilo Bartel, and Zirbes. So it's an experienced starting five. And I've got to tell you, folks, I'm really happy to see Henrik Rodel coaching this German national team. Used to play for Germany. Of course, he comes from my neck of the woods in a way. He went to Chapel Hill High School, then played for the University of North Carolina and won a national title under the legendary Dean Smith. So he learned basketball the right way, and I'm sure that he only brings positives to the German national team program. Played a long time in Germany, now in the coaching profession. There he is, Henrik Rodel. And great opportunity, a real advocate as well of these World Cup qualifiers. He knows how important the national team can be for basketball in a country. When he was playing for the national team, of course, he had an extraordinary 1993. In fact, as you look at Ilias Zouros, who kind of shot to prominence coaching in Greece, and then coached that national team for a while. But here he is with Georgia. But Rodel had an extraordinary 93. He won the national title for the University of North Carolina, and just a couple months later, came home to Germany and won the Eurobasket title. So that's got to be a year that he'll never forget. And it's hard to believe that was 1993. What has happened all the time, folks? Goodness me. Well, welcome everybody for just joining us. We're in Chemnitz, Germany. It's Germany hosting Georgia in the opening European Basketball World Cup qualifier for both of these teams. Georgia won the opening tip, but a little bit of confusion there, and the ball turns over to Germany. So Bartel gets it inside to Zirbes, and he is fouled. So Zirbes is going to go to the line. That's a big man, isn't it? And he makes the first. In case you're wondering, how big is he? Well, 2.07 meters in height. That's 6'9", and a well-chiseled frame. He's got some muscles. So Zerbis puts Germany on the board. I'll tell you, this is a basketball country. I mean, there's a lot of enthusiasm around the teams in the league, playing in European leagues and the domestic leagues. And of course, Germany making it all the way to the quarterfinals of the Eurobasket this season. That was played. They played in Israel and then advanced from the group phase to Istanbul. And the shot from Markashvili is no good, but Dixon gets the rebound, puts it up. And the advantage to having the likes of Markashvili and Dixon is you've got two guys that do clearly are not afraid to make plays. Robin Benzing is another for Germany, but his attempt stays out. And that rebound was taken impressively by Badashvili. Skidishvili off the front of the rim. Good to see him back in the Georgian national team. Tada whips the ball to Bartel. Now Zerbis. Dorith swings it to Benzing. Good! He's got that reputation he always has of being able to knock in that long jump shot. Georgia looking for an answer. Dixon's got it. Dixon gets closer. Skizvili puts it on the deck, drives in, good defense. He gets the ball back. He's going to barrel his way in. Hoping for a foul to be called, but it wasn't. That's good ball movement there, and that's Dorth knowing exactly who's across the court on the wing. Your bullseye shooter. There he is. Benzing again. And this time, a little bit of a collision down in the lane. Tada over to Dorth. And Bartel, well, he was on the other side of the ball being boxed out, but was able to force the ball out of bounds off of his opponent, the referee says. Dorth again gets it to Benzing, who will operate a lot behind the arc. And you know what that means, don't you? He has doesn't have as much territory to cover when he runs back down to the other end of the court. That's probably why he likes to play out there so much. That's not said in seriousness. He's such a good shooter. Now here he is. He's got a little size advantage on Markashvili. Turns and shoots and scores. Robin Benzing. And the block from Bartel. The block from Benzing. Dorth crosses midcourt for Germany. Zerbis, his pass into the corner. Tada, the runner. Zerbis with the rebound. The scrap for the ball, and Georgia come down with it. Markashvili goes in. His pass to Dixon. Dixon, it was a tough pass to catch. He called it, but he was already flying out of bounds. And that was, well, that was one of those not in my house moves by Germany, which reminds me, hashtag this is my house. That's what this whole World Cup qualifiers campaign is about. It's about bringing the national teams back. And that's what you get when you bring the national team back. Bartel with the alley-oop jam. Great find from Robin Benzing. And Georgia trying to force the pass in. Dorth. Constant noise generated by this great crowd here in Germany. Bartel again. Zerbis was not in good position there, but was still able to get the rebound. Dorth over to Tata. Tata hustles, gets it back again. Right now they're just out hustling Georgia, but Marcus Philly reaches up and comes up with a steal. He explodes up the court. He pulls up for the short jumper. And this time good extra effort from Georgia to get another possession. I like to watch both of these teams for different reasons, but this is one of them. And you know, Benzing and Bartel, I mean, it's out there on the platter, guys. This is your team in this game. You need to carry us. That is a message that looks like Rodel has made to both, and they have come out firing today. Long jump shot is good. Was that Patsatia? No, in fact. Benzing tries to answer. That was Bokalishvili who hit that long three-pointer. And Zoris doesn't mind his big fella stepping out to shoot the three. Well, somebody let the bagpipes in. 9-5, Germany on top of Georgia. And there's Bartel, but the follow from Zerbis. Normal Zerbis has resumed. Dixon answers with a three, and this is the type of game that Georgia like to play. It's fun. They are fearless. They will go down and answer with a dunk with a three. Tata misses down low. Now Dixon goes behind the back. Itadze gets it out to Dixon. And you know what, folks? That man can carry a team almost for 40 minutes, Michael Dixon, offensively when he gets it going. He loves the big occasion. Benzing in the paint, kind of falls back, hits the shot. Marcus really did a good job defensively there. Not much more he could have done. Great start to the game here in Chemnitz. Great start for Benzing. And Bartel with the rebound. Dorth. Zerbis turns. This time somebody's there to seal him. Leads to a turnover. As he tries to go, Dixon says, don't mind if I do this time. He's short. Alley-oop pass this time. Well spotted. It was well read by Georgia. Marcus Philly. And Georgia have taken the lead with that three-pointer from Bereshvili. And you can never, ever feel safe when Georgia's on the court. I mean, Germany have had a lot of the momentum, and this is a good timeout by Rudel. Dixon has 8 points, 2 rebounds, a steal. Marcusvili making an impact, bringing some energy. Marcusvili has yet to score. Bedishvili and Bokalishvili each with 3-pointers. And that was Bedishvili, the shot that brought the timeout. And right before that, we had seen Dixon drill a 3. Dixon's been terrific for Georgia. I mean, I don't think there's any question about it. The passion that he brings to the court for this national team. He just loves playing basketball, Michael Dixon. National teams allowed to naturalize one player, so he is their naturalized player. Dixon comes from the United States. Robin Benzing into Zerbis. Akpinar in the game. He's got the ball. And Hartenstein, ball was going to him, but it was cut off. And now the foul. Bokalishvili will get a couple of free throws. So Robin Benzing is going to go out. Dominic Lockhart is coming into the game. I thought it was really good energy that Germany were playing with, but Rudel perhaps knows as well from a defensive intensity standpoint. He needs to keep his guys fresh. He's bringing them in. And Bokalishvili makes the second. So a 2-point lead now for Georgia. And Lockhart flies in, he's swatted. Hartenstein chases it down. Obst also in for Germany. Hartenstein, the lefty, good! That's why he's got the 3 initials NBA associated with his name. And foul has been called out on the perimeter. This is exciting stuff tonight, isn't it? It's got to be it's not just the main event in Chemnitz, it's the only event. I mean, this is where you got to be. Germany trying to stay, trying to get to the World Cup. And we've got a bump and illegal screen set. We saw Germany at the 2010 FIBA Basketball World Cup. And of course, when Dirk was playing for them, Dirk Nowitzki back in 2006, they went on that great run. They got to the quarterfinals before falling to the USA. And who could ever forget the great game by Nowitzki against Angola that went to triple overtime. So And we already talked about Germany. Of course, they got third place at the 2002 FIBA Basketball World Cup when that was in Indianapolis. And nice move from Thiemann. Dixon explodes up the court. Patsatsia posting up over there in the left corner. Dixon bumped, and they're going to call the foul on Lockhart. Dominic Lockhart gets his first personal. You know, one of the reasons why these World Cup qualifiers are exciting, certainly for me, and I'm sure for a lot of other people, is it's great seeing a lot of these big names coming out and playing for Germany, but it's also great to see some of these younger guys get an opportunity that they otherwise would not get. So we're seeing the likes of Lockhart come out and play. Hartenstein, obviously a big part of this team. He's come over, you know, he's in the NBA G League right now, but he's coming over playing big minutes for his country. So long three-pointer, another one is made from Bereshvili. So he's got 2 threes here in the first half. And this game is even, folks. And good defense there from Patsatsia. Shot clock, game clock winding down. And Obst puts one up from a long way out, but is unsuccessful. And if Chemnitz wanted to watch a good basketball game, they've got one. It's 18 apiece between Germany and Georgia.
Denn in der Halbzeitpause haben wir hier den DBB Skills Contest. Zu gewinnen gibt es dieses Trikot mit Unterschriften der Nationalmannschaft. Und Arnold wird jetzt die beiden Teilnehmer mit seiner T-Shirt-Kanone ausschießen. Für den DBB Skills Contest.
Well, folks, we've had some real thrillers while we've got a moment, and as you look at the highlights from this first quarter, let me just recap some of the scores. Earlier today, Israel and Turkey won. Finland have just won on the road, a real thriller, 82-80. So get up off your chair, Laurie Markkinen, and give those Susi Jingi a big cheer. Your national team just won. Czech Republic won convincingly at home over Iceland. They pulled away for a 20-point win. Poland have been trailing. They've come back to take the lead against Hungary, 57-53. Russia, early in the second half, up on Bosnia and Herzegovina, 42-38. Ukraine are winning big at Sweden, 53-34. And Kosovo, what a story this would be if this were to hold up. They are knotted with Lithuania, 35 apiece at halftime. So it's all happening in the World Cup qualifiers. It's wall-to-wall basketball. We had it yesterday. A lot of games in Asia and the Americas. USA won their first game in Orlando against a very good Puerto Rican team that put in a great effort. Puerto Rico playing that game in Orlando following the devastation of the hurricane. They made that announcement back in October. They were going to play it in the U.S. And just all in all, it's just been an amazing first couple of days of the World Cup qualifiers. Obst puts up a three and hits it. Well, he missed it right at the end of the first quarter, but Obst hits one right here at the start of the second. And now, the Tadze sticks his rear end out and is called for the foul. Watch. Obst says, "Coach, watch this." Oh, Obst again, gets it to Johannes Thiemann. Now a long jump shot, another one is good, the three-pointer. And Akpinar this time gets in on the act. Back up to 6 points now, the lead for Germany. Patsatsia goes behind his back. Tadze over to Markoshvili. A good young player, Batadze there, playing some D. And Germany, you know, it's not just the Robin Benzing show from outside. They've got some other guys knocking in some three-pointers tonight. Berishvili hits his third three-pointer. Boy, this guy's going to be approaching legendary status if he keeps this up for Georgia, because they are crying out for guys to step up. And it looks like he's ready to do it. Lockhart kind of loses it and unfortunately ends up in the hands of Akpinar. Hartenstein, well, he was going for his second three and came up short. And Berishvili, oh, Germany living dangerously that time. How can the guy hit 3 threes and be that open? Akpinar misses. And Patsatsia. Akpinar took a little shot to the chin from Patsatsia. Markoshvili. Gets it to Bitadze, now Berishvili. Markoshvili gets in the lane, hangs, scores! Well, the ball, Patatse is going to come and catch a breather. Tell you what, folks, you're in need of a little excitement. Dial 1-800 Georgia. We've got all the excitement here in Chemnitz. It's a 1-point game. And as I told you, a lot of close games all the way around in the World Cup qualifiers. Amazing scenes as leagues all over the world, domestic leagues in Europe and whatnot, taking breaks so the national teams can get together, the national team players. And the fans don't have to wait for the summers now to see their national teams play. They can see them in the November window. They can see them in February. They'll see them again at the end of June, beginning of July. Then there's another window in September. Boy, what's Zordo so upset about? A tale of two coaches there. Rudel is just kind of calmly taking it all in. Now into the game is Saibu for Germany, number 1. And Thiemann, aggressive, gets inside, and the foul. There's Johannes Thiemann. This is the first. Boy, seemed like somebody must have been in the lane early that time. By the way, she's looking at her phone. Gives me a chance to say, why don't you get yourself the World Cup app, the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2019 app for your telephone. It is excellent. I mean, it's got everything you need to follow these World Cup qualifiers in the build-up to the World Cup. Videos, all the news stories, the teams, the rosters, everything. I mean, the technology these days just is mind-blowing. Thiemann catches it, puts it up and scores. Great pass from Hartenstein. And also you can go to www.FIBA.basketball and go to the World Cup site. And there's Markashvili. This is what Georgia do. Right when the other team gets a little bit of momentum and looks like they might be about ready to put some distance between themselves and the Georgians reel them right back with a shot like that. They play with so much energy and pride. And there's Hartenstein. No, look at him. He handles the ball. Look at his passing. You talk about a big man, a big young man making that play. So he goes out and he's thinking to himself, I'm glad that I've come over for this. This is fun to be back in Germany playing with the national team. They need him. And Saibu goes up and is fouled by Skidishvili. Well, on the plus side, at least Germany did not get 3 free throws. He wasn't behind the arc, but you still don't want to foul the jump shooter. Although they're not going to be punished hardly at all here, as he misses the first one. Germany are 3 or 4 at the line. Haven't had many opportunities. Georgia 1 of 2. It's been a pretty relatively clean game. Now what's interesting is that Georgia are 7 and 13 from 3-point range. Germany are 4 of 9. So Georgia at this stage getting more joy from deep. And Dixon and Berishvili are the 2 best 3-point shooters in this team. Here's Dixon. He's going to launch one right on cue. His 3rd 3-pointer, and he shouts up at the crowd. Benzing. Ball rattles out. And Tizkishvili with the rebound. Now Berishvili. You see Bartel on him because he's been so good shooting it. Now from the right corner, another 3-pointer. And that is the 2nd 3-pointer from Bokalishvili. And he's got 7 points. And the shot no good, but this Dixon was here. Robin Benzing. His team trailing by 4 points. 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. So fouled while shooting 3, makes it. So 32 to 31 now. That was a bad foul by Markashvili. Markashvili answers with a 3. And if his NBA career didn't work out like he wanted to after being selected by Denver, he's still got time to make some headlines. Doing it with Georgia right now. Benzing drives in. Oh, tough shot from Robin Benzing. Tiskishvili she just took one and made it. Sorry, folks, had a pizza delivery there to take here. And Dixon is showing the emotion for Georgia. Loving it. We got timeout on the court. And just while we have a moment here, Russia now trailing at Bosnia and Herzegovina by a couple of points. Poland have beaten Hungary 70-60, so that was a gritty win for them because they were down. They were struggling for points. Czech Republic were big winners. Finland won by 2 at Bulgaria. Sweden crashing hard at home to Ukraine by 20. See the shooting for both teams here, Germany and Georgia. Three-point shot's been huge for Georgia. Lithuania now starting to get on top of Kosovo, 41-35. And Montenegro have the early lead on Spain, 6-4. 11 of 25 from the floor for Germany, 12 of 24 for Georgia. It's the three-point shot that's been the difference. Georgia with 6 more threes than Germany. This game has all the hallmarks of a contest that is going to go to the wire. Dixon, another three. This time too long, but the long rebound goes back outside to Georgia. Germany a little slow in reacting. Markošvili now flies in, gets outside again. Dixon wide open. Count it. 5-point advantage. And boy, have they drilled the threes, including Dixon now, who has a team-high 4 3-pointers. Bartel. Tata down to Zerbis, who turns with a short little jump hook. Crowd trying to get behind Germany here, give him a lift. Tata reaches in and commits the foul on Dixon. That's the 3rd team foul on Germany in the quarter. Markošvili. Tiskishvili, another one. Big number 22. And the folks back in Tbilisi getting up on their feet now. They are liking what they are seeing, and now Bartel scrapping for position with Markošvili. Picks up the foul. I think maybe raised his elbows. Bartel not happy with that call. Another three-point attempt, and Markošvili had a bad miss. I didn't think that was possible, because he's been so good. And boy, some good fortune there for Germany. It looked like the ball kind of slipped out of Benzing's hands. Zerbis think ends up getting fouled, will go to the line, or he couldn't catch it, and Bartel did, so he was fouled. So Batsatia picks up the personal, and Bartel misses the first. Second one is good. That's how loud it is, and that's a very wise mother right there, putting those headphones on her youngsters. Wants them to see the game, but doesn't want them to damage the hearing. Georgia have just been shooting lights out. I mean, that's the only way to put it, from three-point range. If they can shoot this well for the game, I'm not sure they can be beaten. There's Dixon. Gets around Dorth. Now the penetration and the foul. So Bakari will go to the line. Georgia are 12 of 21 from three-point range. First free throw is no good from Bakari. So missed opportunities for Georgia, and that means Germany can claw it back to 3 or maybe 2. Zerbis gets inside, maybe forced it a little bit. Good D from Skidishvili. Dixon goes behind his back. Looked like maybe he was trying to do a little too much. Skidishvili for 3. Short. A little bit too soon was the expression from Zoros on the sidelines. Final minute of the first half. And it's been an impressive half. Zerbis. Bartel, the rebound. He comes up and sets the pick. Tada goes baseline, out to Dorth, who takes it back out. 4 on the shot clock. Dorth's open, and can't get it to go, but Bakari steps out of bounds. So a new shot clock for Germany. So Germany called timeout.
Annulation ist mir scheißegal. Okay? Du wirfst ein. Mike.
12 points. Benzing leads the scoring for Germany.
Erster Look. Zweiter Look. 4. Blockade auf dem Block. Carsten wird den Block stellen. Dankeschön.
14 points for Dixon. Look at Zoros and Bakari. Bakari was looking the other way, boy, and Zoros jumped right down on him. Said, "You got to pay attention." Germany will hit the road and play at Austria in their next game. Serbia will be at home on Monday against Georgia. So tough way to start the November window for Georgia. 2 road games. And the ball goes out of bounds. Final 24 seconds ticking off the clock. Dorth. Back outside to Benzing. Good! He hits it! And he was fouled. Can you believe it? In all honesty, the guy's a meter behind the arc. Get a hand in the face, but don't foul him. So Darbaidze a little too close to Benzing. And the free throw is good. Rosso, the French referee, signals count it for Germany. So a 4-point play at the end of the quarter for Germany, or late in the quarter, has allowed them to cut it to 1 point, the deficit. And now Georgia going to call timeout and talk about this last possession. Soto speaks English, so let's listen in. Bokalishvili shooting 100%, Dixon 50%, as well as Berishvili and Markoshvili is at 40%. Hit that. That's, I thought Ulf missed a 3 at the end of the first quarter. I could be wrong. (41-40) Georgia on top of Germany. The final seconds ticking off the clock here in the second quarter. Now trap. Great play by Germany. They trap Dixon. He doesn't handle it well. It goes out of bounds, and now Germany will have an opportunity. Remember, every point matters in a game like this. This is a tight one. Benzing checks back into the game. Is he going to pop out? Can anybody get free? Yep, they get it back to Akpinar. Boy, couldn't have asked for a better shot. So we're at halftime. Georgia on top, 41-40 in a terrific contest. Georgia leading Germany by 1. So 41-40, Germany just 5 threes, 12 threes for Georgia. Can they keep that up? I mean, that's the name of the game right there for them. And you've got good rebounding by Germany. course, what happens is when you go out to guard the three-point shooter, you're stretching the floor a little bit, and that might create some cuts for Georgia. So it's going to be an interesting second half coming your way. We'll be right back.
dann noch die Halbzeitstats präsentiert vom neuen Gesundheitspartner des Deutschen Basketballbundes von der Pronova WKK. Hier, die Stats. Deutschland mit 19 Rebounds, Georgien mit 16 Assists, Deutschland 15, Georgien 10. Die Zweierquote liegt für Deutschland bei 38 und bei Georgien bei 25. Und das ist wohl hier aktuell der Knackpunkt, die Dreierquote. Deutschland super 50%, aber Georgien 54%. Die Freiwurfquote, Deutschland 75%, Georgien nur 25%. Die Halbzeitstats präsentiert von der Pronova WKK.
(41-40), Georgia on top of Germany here in this opening World Cup qualifier for both teams, trying to get to the 32-team World Cup to be played in China 2019. This is the first of many games that will have to be won by these teams to get to the promised land. Of course, this is the November window. There will also be one more game for each of these teams in this window. And I think anybody who has watched these teams play over the first couple of days, not just these teams, but obviously all of the teams, realizes the significance of what's happening with the national teams now playing in the windows in November and February, at the end of June, beginning of July, September, back into November, February again. You know, the fact is the fans love coming to see the national team play these meaningful games, and they just weren't able to under the old system when the players would get together for a long training camp in the summer and then get ready to play qualifying games. A lot of people would be on holiday. They couldn't go to watch them play, or maybe their team didn't qualify for a Eurobasket. But now, you know, if you're in the World Cup qualifiers, you've got a chance to play games at home. So it's really a win-win situation. The leagues, the domestic leagues all taking a break, so these players can get together. Of course, there's not as much training, not as much training camp before the games, but on the plus side, the players should already be in shape. They are already in shape because they're training with their club sides, and you know, that's good for the players because, you know, they have a reduction in playing time over the 4 years of the cycle. And just all in all, it's a win-win situation for everybody. So most important, it's helping the game grow. It's getting people excited about basketball. It's getting young people young emerging players chances to play basketball for their national team, which otherwise they might not get that chance. So, you know, come the February window, you might have 1 or 2, maybe 5 different players. Come the June, July, you might have other different players, but it's all for one and one for all when it comes to the national team. And that's why you see so many fans coming out to support all of these teams, no matter who's playing. It's really been something to watch, especially in Europe. So the second half action underway. Germany trailing by 1. Georgia starting with possession, and Dixon tries to pick up where he left off in the first half, but misses the three-pointer. There's just too good to pass up. Zerbis can put Germany in front. He makes the pass, and Hartenstein goes up and scores. How good is Hartenstein going to be when it's all said and done? Don't forget, he's a young man. So the drive and the basket is good. Benzing over to Tada. Bounce pass, Zerbis goes up and takes the contact and scores. So Zerbis at the line. Chance to get it up to 2 points, the lead. And he does. You know, growing up in America, I've been able to watch a lot of basketball, watch a lot of college basketball, March Madness. This has the same feel, folks. It really does. You wake up, you think, you eat, you drink basketball. Who's playing today at what time? You want to be there to watch it. Marcusvili. And the ball goes out of bounds. I mean, you've got David and Goliath matchups. You've got traditional powers going up against teams that are trying to make their name in the international game. You got players that kind of come out from nowhere and really announce themselves on a bigger stage. Tada to Zerbis. Zerbis turns, puts it up, and nice soft release from Zerbis. He's had a strong start, and Hartenstein almost coming up with a steal. Pass into the corner. Dixon gets it over to to Bokolashvili. Hartenstein's taken a knock, so he's gone down. Hopefully he'll be okay. And Marcusvili kind of was defending his territory, and Hartenstein had words with him. So you might want to watch that matchup, Hartenstein and Marcusvili. Hartenstein talked about his age, just 19, 2.13 meters in height, that's 7 feet. We saw him hit a three-pointer earlier in the game. So you're talking about a talented player. Multi-skilled. There he is again. That time forcing it a little bit. Dixon drives in. Out to Berishvili. Inside. And a good look for Bitadze, but couldn't get it to fall. Benzing whips it over to Hartenstein. Hartenstein stepped out of bounds. Pass back. Shot is good from Berishvili, his fourth three-pointer. Back to a one-point game. Look at that, 4 of 7. Hartenstein, nice soft touch. Dixon with the runner, no good. Marcusvili. And Hartenstein fouls him as he goes past. He's not going to be able to guard Marcusvili out on the perimeter. So a 3-point lead for Germany. And another basket inside from Bitadze. No team can really get any separation. Timon, quick pass to Tata, pump fake, puts it up, misses, and there's Hartenstein for the follow. And Dixon thought he was going to get a foul called. A little bit out of control, perhaps. And Berishvili reaches in. Dixon complaining about the no foul while Zotis is trying to tell him to pass it. That was Hartenstein on the putback jam. Long one, no good. Marcusvili with the rebound. And then very cleverly is able to throw it off of Timon before it goes out of bounds. Marcusvili has a lot of experience, a lot of savvy. Savvy in abundance. Battle down low, and 2 shots coming for Bitadze. Bitadze makes the first. Zotis, his luck ran out on him really at the Eurobasket. You would have thought after upsetting Lithuania on the opening day that they would go on to advance, and they got another win and just lost a heartbreaker to Italy, and it cost them a spot ultimately in that next round. the round of 16. Benzing catches, turns, shoots, and gets to the fall. To a three-point game. But what looms really, you feel, for Georgia, again, is that three-point shot. Oh, Bitadze. They got away with something there, pushing off on Timon. Oh, tough shot from Marcashvili. And Robin Benzing gets inside right at the line and lets it fly. Three-pointer, we talk about it looming, and there it is. Dixon ties it. And not sure what Zoros is being so animated about over on the sidelines. Is he talking about just make that pass and it's going to be open? Is he not happy that Dixon didn't make that pass? That was Benzing's last basket. Benzing drives in. And now Dixon and Georgia can reclaim the lead. An offensive foul called against Georgia. Basically, you want to finish in the top three. That's your main goal. But you also want to win as many games as you can, because the points that you get in your group, you will carry over to the next group. That foul was on Bitadze. And in that next group phase, the top three teams from the four groups of 6 teams will advance to the World Cup. And you've got more teams in Europe, which is why you'll have more than the other regions, which is why you will ultimately have more teams qualifying from Europe. 12 from Europe, 7 will qualify from Asia for the World Cup, 7 from the Americas will qualify for the World Cup, and then 5 from Africa will qualify for the World Cup. And then you'll also have China as the host nation. And Bartel now at the line. The game knotted. Germany 10 of 13 at the free throw line. And Bartel missed both. Timon scraps away. And on the alternating possession, Germany will keep the ball. Three-point attempt. Oops. Back to Akpinar into Bartel. Timon goes up strong, but gets blocked from behind. Now Dixon. All of a sudden, both teams struggling to put the ball in the basket a little bit. Dixon. Oops, trying to front the big man from Georgia, Bitadze. What is going through Rudel's mind? Henrik Rudel. And Marcashvili ran into a little trouble there with with Lockhart, who's come into the game. Now Bartel, he's tempted, bounce pass, Timon. And 2 shots. If he'd been able to make that, he would have had a 3-point play opportunity. Well, the name of the game is close games all the way around. We'll try to keep up the speed on the rest of the scores today. Georgia right now in Germany is about as close as it can get. We're all knotted up, 55 apiece late in the 3rd quarter. Both free throws take it back up to a 2-point lead. And that shot is no good. And Timon with the rebound, and he's fouled by Bitadze. And Georgia already in the over the limit, so that will send Germany to the line. So Timon just made a couple. See if he can make a couple more for Germany. Georgia hope not, and he misses the first. Games can be won and lost at the free throw line. Rodel knows that. The German fans know that. Timon knows it. He makes the second, so now Germany are 13 of 19 at the free throw line. 68.42%. I've always been told you want to be up around 70 at least, bare minimum. So they're just under that mark. Of course, if you got 5 Shaquille O'Neals on your team, you're not going to get there. At least you'll have a lot more rebounds and dunks. Skidishvili backs up his man. Now the drive and the turnover. Akpinar weaves his way up the floor. Over to Bartel. Oh, beautiful move. Bartel stretches the lead to 5 for Germany, and with a minute and a half to go, Zoros decides he needs to calm things down and calls timeout. Oh, Zoros not happy, telling the camera to get out of the screen. Bartel with 3 fouls. Never know, Zoros maybe conspiracy theorist, perhaps thinks somebody's going to go tell the Germans what plays they want to run, or maybe just thinks it's a distraction, but I think he's supposed to let that cameraman be in there. Dixon puts up a 3, and Bartel authoritatively collects the rebound. Bartel powers his way up, passes it back outside. Timon drives in, and was not very convincing on that drive about what he was going to do with it. An unsportsmanlike foul has been called on, is it Akpinar or Lockhart? It's on Akpinar, so 2 shots and possession. This was Timon. Oh no, he just got blocked outright by Bereshvili. So remember that play, 45.5 seconds remaining. Dixon bringing it up the floor. And Akpinar reaches in and just commits the foul. Got to make a play on the ball. I'm personally a fan of free the fast break. Hashtag free the fast break. Let the fast break live. It's more exciting to watch. Stop committing all these fouls to stop it. I know it's strategy. Just don't like it. Bereshvili turns it over. Dorith. And he led Bartel too much. Now up ahead to Dixon. Boy, talk about a horrendous sequence for Germany. They got in too much of a rush. And I'm guessing if Dorith could have it all to do it all over again, he would not have tried to make that pass to his big man running down the lane. Foul out on the perimeter. 9.5 seconds remaining, so free throws coming. So Dixon, who was fouled, unsportsmanlike, made those 2 free throws, and now he's scored on that drive, and he's got 21 points. Not a bad night's work, is it? So again, Dixon goes to the line to take some free throws. And just like this, the lead for Georgia, for Germany is evaporating. They're up 5. Now it's tied. Dixon mixed both. Did they get it off in time? Doesn't matter. So Georgia with a 6-0 run right at the end of the 3rd quarter have taken a 1-point lead over Germany. Well, Bosnia and Herzegovina beat Russia tonight, 81-76. Ukraine won at Sweden also. So here's some of the highlights of the 3rd quarter.
Die offizielle Zuschauerzahl präsentiert von Eventim. Der Deutsche Basketballbund bedankt sich bei 5.037 Zuschauern hier in Chemnitz. Dankeschön.
So we are about ready to start things off here in the fourth quarter. And the long jump shot from Skidishvili. He was short. Obst pulls up for three. Oh, he's got a nice release, doesn't he? A really nice stroke. I'm impressed with him. And the jump shot no good, but another opportunity. You got to rebound those. Misses Germany. If you want to be able to put this Georgia team away, this time the effort from Georgia not good enough. It's interesting with Obst, 21 years of age. Just only last year was playing at the under-20 European Championship. So, and by the way, a very good player at that championship, averaging almost 14 points per game. Didn't shoot as well from the arc, but still hit his share of threes, hit 17 threes. Here he is, dumps it down low to Zerbis. And Hartenstein flies in and the ball rims out. And it was interesting with Obst, he was a player, you know, that's gotten a chance here to play with the senior team with these World Cup qualifiers. So one of the pluses about these games coming in the windows might be spots available, and he's taking advantage. And Zerbis, Mike Zerbis puts it up and in. He's had himself a whale of a game tonight. But it's not what's been done up to this point. It's how Germany can play in this fourth quarter, because we saw at the end of the third quarter, they weren't able to protect that 5-point lead as Georgia came back and took it themselves. And Markashvili off target. Bastian Dorth with the beard brings it up the floor. And the pass from Hartenstein to Hartenstein. He was almost out of bounds. Obst hits another one. And making his mark with the senior team, young Obst. The 21-year-old, look at that, he's got the German fans on their feet. That three-pointer stretches the lead for Germany to 7 points. So they've started with an 8-0 run. See, Benzing's got the high for Germany. This is good patience, Obst. And you could just hear the Georgia players, when they realized he was open, they were saying, oops, Obst. So Dorith picks up his personal. And Dixon whips it over to Batadze. And Hartenstein with the rebound. It's really the first time in the game that we can say that Germany have opened up a little bit of distance between themselves and Georgia. And it's strange how they've done so, because that 5-point lead just kind of disappeared by their own doing at the end of the third quarter. And then they came out strong right after. But again, Georgia have the capacity to come back, especially with the 3-point shot. And it's going to be Patazia hits the 3. And just like that. And 68-64, you can tell that Zuros believes that might just be his team's best chance, is to get those guys set up out on the perimeter and just to swing it time and time again until somebody's open. Hartenstein, his pass knocked away. And here's Georgia again. They hit another 3, it'll be a 1-point game. Dixon for 3. Well, that was close. Sighs of relief breathed here in the Chemnitz Arena. And the behind the back pass goes out of bounds. So Germany all of a sudden looking like not a team that's going to be able to close this thing out. And Rodel calls timeout again. So a lot of basketball to be played. And remember, these guys, you know, a lot more responsibility on their shoulders with the likes of the Dennis Schroeder's not playing for Germany. It's Msadzes, the veteran point guard, not with Georgia, or the Zaza Pachulia. But as we've seen, as you look at the rebounding totals there in favor of Germany, a lot of great players in both of these national team programs. So back to live action. And once again, Germany, shall we say, clinging to a 4-point lead. Because you know that Georgia are going to spot up and take a 3. And it might be taken by this guy if he gets a little bit of daylight. No, it's going to be down on the baseline. The shot from Markashvili. And Bitadze called for a foul. And Zoros can't quite believe it. Now Zoros can't believe it. Crowd getting into it. You see Benzing, Akpinar, Bartel, Zerbis, and Obst on the court. And can they get Obst open for another attempt? Perhaps from deep. 5.5 minutes to go. Close games all around the shop. Spain were worried, taking a completely new team to Montenegro, but they seem to be in control of that game. Akpinar drives in, and the nice play by Bartel to pick up the loose ball. Dixon, Markashvili, Berishvili, Bokalishvili, and Skidishvili. So you've got 5 players that can hit the 3 from Georgia. And this time, Dixon got swatted by Zerbis. Zerbis spins, goes inside and scores with a little bit of a power move, and takes that lead up to 8 points. 15 points for Zerbis. To be honest, it feels like he scored more. Markashvili and Gidishvili call for the charge. And he can't believe it. Well, that was the block at that end. And then Zerbis follows up his block with that move. Benzing backs his way up. Oh, ends up losing his balance, throws up a prayer, and now Dixon on the break and fumbles it away. He can get a little bit sloppy here at the end. With 3:50 remaining and Germany up 8. Quick pass to Zerbis. Oh, what a powerful twisting move that was. And the biggest lead of the game for Germany with 3.5 minutes remaining. So alarm bells ringing back in Tbilisi. Has gotten away from Georgia here a little bit. And Zordos calls timeout. So you heard Zordos saying every point counts. Come back, got a little bit closer to Coach Zordos on this side. Yeah. 29 remaining. Spain up 16 on Montenegro in Montenegro. Belgium in Antwerp up 29-16 on France. 3 minutes to go in the first half of that game. Great Britain beating Greece 37-35. Even though that game is in Great Britain, you know, the history of those teams. Remember, Greece, the last team to beat the USA in competitive action, 101-95 in the semifinals in 2006 at the World Cup. So that is traditionally one of the powerful teams, and they're falling right now at Great Britain. Although it's a close one. And now an offensive foul turns it right back over. Markashvili able to save it just in the nick of time, and Zerbis comes up and commits the foul. Now Zerbis needs to watch himself here. He doesn't want to. No love lost between these players. Watch this. Well, hopefully Zerbis telling Dixon to calm down. So that's Zerbis' second foul. And that's a great move, I think, by Rudler. You don't need anything that might flare up here late in the game that might hurt you, like with a technical or something like that. Oh, great opportunity to score by Valishvili, but he missed the shot. Finar. Turns it over. But Timon read the pass. Then Valishvili hustles to get it back for Georgia. And then Valishvili hustles down, and then yet another turnover. I think that was Dixon that threw that away. It was indeed Michael Dixon. Benzing for three. Ah, that's a dagger! With less than 2 minutes remaining, Germany open up a 13-point lead. Georgia did so well for so long. And remember, they were down 5 late in the third. They went on that 6-0 run to take the lead. Up 1 coming into the fourth quarter, but nothing has gone well for them in this fourth quarter. Foul has put on the line Valishvili, and he makes the first. And it's just like Coach Zoro said, every point counts. So, you know, they might lose the game, but if the group comes down to like a goal differential tiebreaker between Georgia and someone else, and they were to lose out, you know, they would hate themselves if they didn't play this game to the end. So they want to get this score down as much as possible. I mean, yes, they still have a chance to win it, but even more so, they want to get that score a little bit more respectable. Anyway, so foul called on Benzing, turns it back over to Georgia. Excuse me, the foul is on Timon. He fouled Markushvili. Setting the screen. Now Markushvili puts it back over to Berishvili. Three-pointer. Gets it back to 9 points. Well, you never know, folks. It's a 40-minute game. You got to play all 40 minutes. And the way Georgia has shot the rock today from deep, you know, don't count them out. 16 three-pointers made. They've attempted 34. They're shooting 47%. And Berishvili himself, 5 of 9. He's been the best. Michael Dixon's also made 5. He's 5 of 12. Benzing down on the baseline. And Markoshvili now. And Dixon flies in. So 25 seconds remaining. Benzing puts it up. That'll do it. 79-68. Final 18 seconds. Germany going to win it. Question is by how much? Dixon hands it off. And Tada comes up with the block from behind. It was a tough game for Germany, but they stuck to their guns. And they made the plays they had to make when they had to make it, and an unsportsmanlike foul called on Timon. So that'll be 2 shots and the ball. Going for the ball, and he definitely pushed him. And you've got to be smart. You've got to be intelligent. And great player, Timon. I love him. But you've got to understand the magnitude of what just happened. In a goal differential tiebreaker situation, say these two teams finish with the same record and they lose to Georgia in Georgia, and they need a point differential to determine it. You know, this helps Georgia. And this is what Zoros was preaching at the end of the game. Every expletive point matters. So let's go out and do it. So if he makes this last one, the second free throw, they will also maintain possession, Georgia. They have a chance to hit possibly a 3-point play. So now that gets it back to a 9-point game. Will Dixon and Georgia get another one? Markoshvili, nope, did not get it off in time. It was a valiant effort from Georgia, really from start to finish. Rudel shakes hands with Zoros and the rest of the coaching staff. A job well done for him. Job well done by them, the fans. They created a great atmosphere here in Chemnitz. And Zerbis goes down and shakes the hands of the Georgian players. And Timon can be happy that that last situation didn't lead to like a 5-point reduction in their lead. No, it did not. So 79-70. And look at the veteran Benzing saying, let's refocus, let's get ready. We've got a difficult road journey coming up to play against Austria. We got to be ready. Let's go get some rest, eat, and be ready for the next game. And Georgia now probably will be feeling like they're behind the 8 ball because they've got to go up against Serbia next in Serbia. (21 of 43). Germany from inside the arc, 8 of 17. Georgia lost despite hitting those 16 three-pointers. Germany winning at 79-70. Out rebounding Georgia 39-28. More assists, and Georgia committed some turnovers. It was really the 3-point shot that really kept Georgia in the game. And then maybe a lack of execution on both ends of the floor hurt them in that fourth quarter. Benzing with 25 leading the way for all scorers. Dixon had 23 in the end. Hartenstein with the 9 rebounds. And Bartel had the 2 blocks. Oh, there's Isaac Boko. Look at that. Young, promising German who's no doubt going to be a part of this German team. So here's how we stand. 1-0 Germany, Georgia 0-1, and Serbia right now are playing at home against Austria and winning by 15 late in the third quarter. So here's some of the highlights here in the fourth quarter, in the second half. And you see a lot of Zerbis going in and scoring down low. Good attacking play. Saw some more threes fall for Georgia. There's Hartenstein cleaning up the mess, if there was some. Benzing again. Timon getting swatted. And Coach Zordo's trying to keep his team focused. Celebration for Germany as they started to get the grips with the match and take the lead. And again, the three-point shot just kept Georgia within striking distance. And by the way, that was Isaac Bonga, not Boko. Isaac Bonga that we saw earlier. He played in the under-19 World Championships last year. He plays with Fraport Skyliners. He'll be a special player for Germany in the very near future. Zerbis was a handful tonight, and that was probably his toughest move right there. And that pretty much finished it off. Benzing, so congratulations to Germany. Well fought, Georgia. You were on the road. It was a tough game. You live to fight another day. You'll play Serbia next, and Germany will be at Austria. So it's been a lot of fun, folks. Germany winning at 79-70 over Georgia in the opening World Cup qualifier for both teams. Thanks for watching.